on the mic. Anyway, so you can hear the water running because I get really hot water, and what I do is I emulsify my oil or my shortening. Today I'm going to use the canola oil. It'll be easier to show you how I emulsify it. So what I do is I get it's probably about a quarter cup or so of the oil. Put it into my, I'm so bad because I never ever measure. So when I was writing my cookbook, it was like a challenge. So here's a 2 cup. Most of the time it's about 2 cups, 2.5 cups of water. So I'm going to put my oil in my 2 cup, and then I'm going to put hot water. So here's my 2 cups, and you can see the oil's on top, but what happens is that you're warming it and it really enhances your dough. And then here's my extra half cup or so of water. So I do about 6 cups of flour, and I put it into my bowl. I've already started heating up my comal. So right now, because I use a gas stove, so this is the comal that I use. And on my stove, I like to use it at about a 9 on the temperature. So this is going my 3rd cup. And you know, like they say, we all learned from our moms, our grandmas, and I learned from my mom, you know, how to make tortillas and stuff. And so, you know, it's exciting, it's fun. I've been making tortillas, gosh, probably since I was about 10, maybe 8, 9, 10, I don't know. Anyway, so I use about 5 cups or so of flour. So here's the harina. And then I use the baking powder. So this is a tablespoon. So I kind of heaping spoon. So I put that maybe just a tad more. So maybe like 2 tablespoons. That's what I have on my cookbook. Anyways, and this is my salt. Hey, this one says, take life with a grain of salt. I love my little salt container. So it's about a teaspoon or so of salt. Maybe a little bit more. I always add a little bit more. Can never go wrong, right? So then what I do is I blend it all together with my hands. Just make sure that it's really all put together. Yeah, this is so exciting. I released my cookbook in February, and I'm so excited because I literally sold out in 1 month. I'm so glad, you know, thanks be to God. And it was exciting, and now I did a 2nd order, so my books are going to be coming in about 3 or 4 weeks. And stuff with this COVID-19 virus going on, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. But anyway, so good morning everyone again. Thank you all for joining me, or good afternoon. It's already after 12. Thank you all for joining me once again. I'm really new to just doing this. Usually I just post a video of what I'm doing and stuff, but today I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and do a live video. It may take a little bit, but making tortillas doesn't take that long, you know. You know what, if you have 12 little bolitas, little dough balls, that should only take you like maybe 15 minutes at the most. So anyways, by now my water and my oil are really nice and emulsified together, and the water's, like I said, it's hot, so it's the best way to just break everything up. And when you use lard or shortening, you could do the same thing, the same thing. Just put your lard or shortening in, and then put your hot water, and it starts melting, you know, right away. So I do about half right away. And I just start to blend with my hands. Yes, I washed my hands. My hands are raw already, I think, from washing them so much. So see, you start to get your flour really incorporated. So then I put the rest of my water in. And you know, and your dough sometimes may be a little sticky, just keep kneading it and it'll all come together. So don't worry, don't add no more flour. That's the one thing you do not do. Don't add any more flour. And I usually let my masa sit, my dough sit for about 5-10 minutes and stuff. Usually that's when I'm doing something else. And so I just decided to just make the tortillas. So if my video is a little long, I'm sorry. So I'm going to use the other half cup of water. And you can tell it's coming together. Yeah, I was really excited. It took me a long time to write my cookbook. You know, it was an exciting time for me. And at the same time, I had stopped writing because of the passing of my father nearly 5 years ago. He was always the one that encouraged me to do more. I mean, he always encouraged me. You know, Mijita, you could do this, do it, you know. And so it was nice coming back to writing my cookbook, because it may sound strange to some, but I was actually able to mourn my dad. And, you know, I went through the grieving process, and it was so nice, because after that, I just felt so healed, you know, and I was able to just finally accept his passing and stuff. And not that I hadn't, but there was always that's something, you know. See how your masa's coming together? I'm going to use just a little bit more water. Hot water. But it's only about another half cup. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, just a tad more water. And that was just maybe about maybe a fourth cup at the most. My grandmother, I used to watch my dad's mom, my grandma Ann, make tortillas. And, you know, everybody, every grandparent, every grandmother, every mother, everybody makes tortillas different. We all use the same ingredients for the most part. But, my grandma, after she was done making the masa, her masa was different. You know, her masa was more, I don't know if it was, what you call it, like more dense. And so after she was done, and she always just used morel lard. Always morel. Nothing different, just the morel. And so anyways, after she was done, she would get the lard and rub her hands with it. And then she'd rub it all over her masa after it was done. Not really sure, you know, what the purpose was, but she, that's what she did. And her tortillas were just amazing. The only thing is, when you do tortillas like that, the one thing that I learned is that now I'm going to knead the dough. I learned that the next day you really can't eat them because they get really, you know, they get hard. So I'm not really sure my grandma's reason. I never asked her. As you could tell, the dough's sticky, but it's okay. Once I finish kneading it, it'll all come together. And but anyways, so yeah, it was her dough was different. You know, my mom's dough is a little more dense. But her tortillas were wider, you know, they were like a good 10 inches, because my dad, he didn't like small tortillas. And Mother used to have to really cook them, because if he had to see any white, he thought that they were still raw. So he never got used to my tortillas, although I made them for him often, especially the last few years of his life. You know, I used to cook almost every day at my parents' house, and just cook whatever Dad wanted and stuff. And so that's what I did. So he got used to it. He didn't, as you could tell, the masa's coming together, and my dough is no longer sticky. I could just get it all off my hands first. But anyway, so it was nice, you know. So Dad learned to eat my tortillas and stuff. He was so funny. But Mom has a electric stove. So as we all know, is that electric stoves are different. You know, everything is different on gas, on wood, on electricity. You know, it's all different. And my mother-in-law, her tortillas are, her masa's real, not soft, but not dense either. And so anyways, but her tortillas, she made them smaller. So when she first saw me make tortillas, it was like, oh my gosh, those are huge, you know. My husband used to say, you could wrap yourself in them because they were so wide. But that's how I learned. And eventually I learned to make smaller tortillas, a good what? 6 or 8 inches, I would say. Anyways, look at my masa. And it's not sticky anymore. So the more you masar, the better it gets. So usually what I do is I cover it for a little bit, let it sit for a few minutes. And in the meantime, and then I start making my little bolitas. So I usually just cover it and let it sit and put my stuff away. But anyways, so making tortillas is a challenge for some, trying to make them round. And God only knows that I have made tortillas forever. And there's days that if my masa doesn't come out right, your tortillas will come out a little bit like the state of Texas, or different shapes and sizes and whatnot. But for the most part, I can pretty much make the round tortillas. I don't make them thick and I don't make them thin, but I make them, I get them just right. You know, a lot of people like my tortillas, so let's see what you all think. But anyways, so after I'm done with all that, then what I do, once I'm done putting everything away so that I can make room on my counter here on my butcher block. So, and I just use regular canola oil. Anyways, so I use a normal bolillo, you know, rolling pin. And I tell everybody it's in your palms of your hands. I grew up using a bigger rolling pin. This is what Mom used, you know, and this is what she taught us how to make tortillas. And again, it's all in your palm of your hands. You know, I see some people where they'll start with their fingers and go like this. Wrong. You will never get round tortillas like that. So anyway, well, in my experience anyways. But anyway, so this is your rolling pin, whether it's this size or this size. So you keep your palm of your hands this way. So when you make your bolita, which you'll see in a little bit, and you start to roll, you roll up. See, like this, okay? And then when you get your tortilla, you just turn it around, counterclockwise, clockwise, and again, up. But don't go all the way, just the palm of your hands. I'm trying to show you guys. So anyways, so that's all you do, just the palm of your hands, and you can do that. And then at the end, you can come back once, but it's always roll up. And then again, turn it and up. Turn it and up. So that's pretty much what you do. And again, you can find it in my cookbook, Comidas de mi Familia, Tu Sangre es Tu Sangre, and the tortillas. Anyways, and you can get on my website, www.newmexico, abbreviated NM, cookbooks, mariabaca.com. But anyways, so let's start making tortillas. And you can feel your masa, it's like warm, and it's because of the hot water that I use. And like I say, that's my preference, and that's how I do it to emulsify my, whether the lard, the shortening, or the oil. I never use butter. I never use anything like that. Again, we all learned from our parents, our mothers, our grandmothers. And so now, so as you can tell, my masa is just nice and rested. It just comes right back up, see? Anyway, so what I do is I get my thumbs. Again, I learned from Mom. Squeeze, turn, and that's what I do. And then once I'm done with all that, I get it. See how round your ball is already? So then I don't stick my nails in it. I just kind of turn. So this is how I do. So already you're starting out with your round dough ball. And then again, you get it, you squeeze, you turn. And again, you just go and turn it this way. Never stick your nails into your dough. And again, you get it, you squeeze, you turn. Please feel free to share my, to have a watch party here and check it out, please. So that's what you do. And see, and all your dough will be round. You're starting off with round balls, so then you get it, turn, and that's how you do it. Let me finish real quick. Hi everyone, thank you for coming on, and thank you. Yes, thank you. I love sharing my cooking techniques and stuff, and it's exciting for me. So you turn. See? And your bolitas are, I'm making them a little bit bigger these days. I don't know why, but my ball's a little bit bigger and stuff. I don't know. I guess the older I'm getting, they're getting a little bit bigger. But they're still the same size, 6 to 8 inches. So you just turn. And like this, you probably get about 15 to 18 tortillas. And as you can see, I keep my dad's picture over there. That was my my poster that I used when we had the opening, the unfolding of my cookbook, which was really just so cool. It was just a dream come true. Took a long time, but I did it. And I did it with him by my side. Most people, I'm always talking about my dad. He was truly my inspiration for a lot. He always, no matter what it was in life, my dad was always there. He backed me up, always stood by my side. He never, anything different in his life, he always stood by my side. He always encouraged me. We had so many wonderful talks, even more before he passed. He loved being a veteran. He thought that was the best thing next to a lemon meringue pie. He loved being a veteran. And he loved lemon meringue pie. But anyway, so it was just nice. And so, like I said, I was able to finally grieve him. And so every time I cook, I think of him. I think of Mom. I'm blessed to still have my mother. And I don't cook with her as much as I used to. But on Friday, for Good Friday, we stopped by and she was getting ready to make torta de huevo. So I helped her make a little bit of the tortas. So it was really nice, and I videotaped her, and it was just so nice to just do that with her, because she taught me a lot of the foods that I cook. She really did. Between her, my grandmothers, and my dad. Dad used to make bread, especially when he was home. He would make bread and stuff as we were growing up and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I made a little bit more dough. But anyways, it was just nice. Okay, so here my comal is ready. Usually if you're gonna use a cast iron comal, I always have it cleaned. So I always put a little bit of oil and clean it up, and that's usually what I do. Anyway, so here's all my dough balls. Came out to 3, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was close. But anyway, so here you go. So then, this is the larger one. So what I'm going to do, so that you all can see how I'm doing it. So it's perfectly round already. This is the one I'm going to use. So I always go up, turn, up, turn. I never turn it over. I always just turn it around. this is the end of it. As you could tell, it's nice and round and stuff. And you don't put our whole 150 pounds into your rolling. Just let your palms, again, it's your palms. And look at how nice and round. So I pick it up, and it's always the wet side that I put on the comal. I let it sit for a second, turn it, and then turn it around to the dry side. And then repeat until I've made them all. So it takes, this one will take about 21 minutes. And again, it's all in the palm of your hands. And I love having butter, waiting for that first tortilla. Yummy. And like I said, it takes about 1 minute to make each tortilla. Yep. And I use my hands, yes, to turn them. I've never really been I don't really do the spatula. I know some people are afraid to touch it because it's hot. It really isn't that hot. And so I just do that. And up here is where I have my warmer. So, you know, I just put the tortilla warmer there. I always have that pot on there. See, I always have my pesca. Okay, here's my tortilla. Nice. And then the next tortilla, again the same way. And then I'll do one more. Then it begins to be a very long video. Yeah, the tortilla warmer is so nice. I got it for our cousin in California. She gave it to me for my birthday. And she made it for me, and it was so nice. See, you always just use the palms. Again, it's always the palm of your hands. So it's this way, okay? And the longer you sit, the more, and the more baking powder you use, the more you'll get the little bubbles in your tortillas as they're cooking. That's normal. It's always good. For my tortilla. So that's just pretty much it. So I only turn my tortillas once when I put it on. So here's the one time that this is just to seal the wet part, and then I turn it around to the dry part, and after that you just turn your tortilla once. So when you're using the bigger bolillo, it's the same way. I hadn't used a big bolillo in a while. Still nice and round. And it's so nice. Both of my girls, Victoria and Rachel, they both know how to make tortillas. Ireland knows how to make tortillas. Logan and Zachary, they love to come and make tortillas, and they love to eat the masa. Those two like the tortilla masa and stuff, so it's really funny. I had an aunt, my Aunt Marianne, she used to like to eat the masa too. So, but not me. Anyway, so that's it. So here's the other tortilla that I used with the bigger bolillo, with the bigger rolling pin. So it's your preference what size. I have one more size. I have all kinds of bolillos. So I have the 3 sizes of rolling pins in my house. So those are the 3 rolling pins and stuff. So most of the time I use this one, the middle one. And these are my tortillas. Again, thank you guys. Yes, I have red chili for today and stuff, and so with hamburger meat. So that's what I did today, no green chili and stuff, because I had some red chili leftovers. That's what we're having. Thank you all again for, for joining me and putting up with me on this very first live channel of me just making the tortillas and stuff so that you all can see. And again, if you'd like to order my cookbook, please go to my website, New Mexico Cookbook, mariabaca.com. NM Cookbook, mariabaca.com. Thank you all and have a wonderful day, and please share and have everybody come to my site. We'll talk to you soon, and you can also find me on YouTube under Margaret's Kitchen. Bye. Thank you. God bless you.